Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Soren, your favorite chess coach, and I would like to clarify today the refutation of the England Gambit. It's something funky. It's a line for black that I would not recommend to play. But in case you are a D4 player, personally, I'm an e4 player most of the time, and very rarely I push the queen's pawn forwards. But in case you are a d4 player, you must know the little trap behind the England Gambit. Okay? It's something very simple to demote, and you can stop it in its tracks, and actually, you're going to come up with a solid extra pawn that you take from black, because this gambit is not very sound. It might work in a bullet, it might work with weaker opponents, especially if they don't know how to react to it, or as a super surprise in some bullets. But totally in all good conscience, I cannot recommend the England Gambit for players with the black pieces. So we are going to play d4. Right. Now, a little bit resembles with the Budapest Gambit, but has nothing to do with the Budapest Gambit, because in my view, Budapest Gambit is a very good, very, very solid way to play. And actually, you're going to get the pawn back. Just very briefly, very briefly, knight f6, c4. So in the Budapest Gambit, you're going to play the e4 and the e5, and then they take, and now you're going to play the knight g4, attacking knight f3. Now you have a range of possibilities to taking the pawn back if that's the line you want to pursue here, from knight c6 to queen e7. So this pawn is going to be taken back. Now mentioning that actually you can take it at a later moment and play bishop c5, attacking f2, to which white might be playing e3 to stopping, so blocking the bishop in. Good stuff with the Budapest Gambit. Now, we're not going to talk about that one. We're actually going to talk about a strange way that black might employ here, e5. And I don't recommend it for black. Okay, so if you want to refute it, just take the pawn. That pawn will stay with you. You've just taken a pawn from them. They won't take it back. Now, knight c6, aiming at the e5 pawn, naturally developing knight g1 to f3, defending the pawn. And if they play queen to e7, you got a range of possibilities. My favorite take here, I don't want to give them the pawn back, so just simply play queen to d5. You are not gonna give them the material back. They've just lost a pawn. There's no way for them to taking back the pawn. They might try d6, to which you just take. They might try f6, to which you just take. Even if apparently looks like they are developing aggressively attacking your queen, you just go very nicely on b3, the queen on b3, and this is it. You've got one extra pawn. They've lost a pawn. They won't take it back, provided you're not blunder massively. You're doing absolutely great here. I don't know. Let's just continue for the sake of have some continuity here. It might be d5, to which again you have a bunch of good moves here. From bishop to f4, to g5, to g3, to c3. You got a lot of good stuff to play here. Let's say knight c3 developing. If they attack, boom, you're going to play knight to b5, attacking here twice. Quite a nice threat here. I don't know, what's the most aggressive move? Let's suppose bishop to g4. I'm going to just give an idea. Both knights can now simply recapture, take the black pawn, capturing again. So you're doing absolutely fabulously well here. The engine will gives you already quite a nice chunk margin positive, better for white here. So this is just very bad for black. If you want to play with black in this position, less two pawns, be my guest. My advice for my chess friends and students, don't play with black the England Gambit. Now, what's the trap we said? The trap is, at this point, a sensible move might be bishop to f4, okay? So bishop to f4, because you want to defend the e5 pawn, right? Now, the little trap goes on like this. Queen to b4, so that's the classical trap in the England Gambit. It's queen to b4, checking the king, forking the bishop, attacking b2. So this is the famous trap. Now, if you are booked, if you've done the lesson, even now, you should be absolutely fine, because the correct move here, given, the first choice would be bishop to d2, attacking the queen. When queen takes on b2, don't play bishop c3. So that's the mistake here. That's how black can win quickly. in case you're doing the blunder bishop c3. The correct move, by the way, is knight c3. But if you play bishop to c3, black now continues with bishop b4. Guess what? You can't take the queen because the bishop checks the king. And this is just bad. There is no good move for white here. Black's going to win. Black's going to win. There is no good stuff here. Whatever you want to do, it's just simply bad. The rook is hanging. The bishop is being attacked twice. There's just nothing good that might happen here. You might be taking knight takes. There's just nothing good. It's knight c2. It's a disaster. The rook is hanging. There's just nothing. If you play knight a3, they're going to take stuff from you. So this is so bad. So that's the trap. What you are supposed to do, guys, after bishop d2 and queen takes b2, you got to play knight c3. Nice and easy. It's absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. The bishop might be coming on b4, to which you reply very nicely, rook a to b1, attacking queen, attacking the bishop. Nothing wrong, you just keep playing the game. Queen to a3, rook to b3, attacking, queen goes on a5, you're going to play a3, bishop takes, fine, the game continues. So you must know this sequence in case you really want to do bishop to f4. If you consider too much of a headache, let me just roll back a bit. If it's too much of a headache and you don't want to get into this kind of strange stuff, just go with the very solid queen d5. You're going to go queen d5, you keep your pawn for yourself, and that would be it. You know, that's it. You got one extra pawn. Just keep developing your stuff. Again, the most aggressive might be the f6, to which you take, knight takes, queen b3. This is it. You've got one extra pawn. You continue developing your stuff. Again, g3, knight c3. You can make a nice pin here. Here, you can even play the a3, you know, stopping any incursions possible with the knight or the queen or bishop at some point. So if you want to play slightly defensive and preventing any other black piece to take advantage of the b4 square. Other than that, it's absolutely fine. So you've got one extra pawn. White's going to win theoretically if you don't make big mistakes and blunders throughout the game. So then again, Englund Gambit, boys and girls, it's not a sound gambit for black. Nothing to do with the Budapest Gambit, which is absolutely robust. It's nice. It's aggressive. It makes a lot of sense. Nothing to do with the Budapest Gambit. Resembles a little bit, but it's totally different in the end because you are going to take back that pawn in the Budapest Gambit, whereas in the Englund Gambit, given this variation I've just shown you now, black is not going to take back the pawn. Okay, so that's it. Refutation of the Englund Gambit, okay? Don't play it with black. In case it happens to you and you're having the white and you are a d4 player, just do the stuff that I showed you guys with the queen on d5 here, and this is it. You keep yourself a nice pawn, all for yourself. Extra material, which we know in chess sometimes matters absolutely. Every single pawn matters absolutely sometimes. Okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.